morning, everyone. This is Daniele Capezzone, a view from Italy, the Watcher Post from the UTOPIA Studios in Rome. I am old enough and I have memory enough to remember extremely well what happened before and after, before and in the aftermath of the 23rd of June 2016, the date on which there was the Brexit referendum. All over the EU, politicians, experts, pundits, commentators, financial institutions explained they were sure that there was going to be a Remain landslide victory. And even in the UK, incredible as it may seem, the prediction was in the same way. 81% of pollsters and bookmakers explained that there was going to be a Remain victory, and 71% of economists and financial institutions, while supporting Remain, explained that in case of a Leave victory, there was going to be an economic disaster. 5 years have passed since that prophecies of dooms, and what has happened? First, after the first global crisis, the pandemic emergency, Britain is getting not only a victory, but a triumph. And second, also from an economic point of view, according to the prediction of this week, this year Britain is going to enjoy an incredible V-shaped recovery. They are going to get a 6.8 rise of their GDP in 2021. According to Goldman Sachs, even 1 point more, GDP rise by 7.8%. So, what are we going to learn from this lesson? What is the EU supposed to do after that lesson? We have two options. The first one, the disgraceful one, is going on treating Britain as a sort of rebellious province and going on sneering at real or supposed Boris Johnson's troubles. Okay, this week has been a difficult week for the British Prime Minister. He has to face some allegations coming from his former advisor, Dominic Cummings, allegation regarding the renovation of his Downing Street flat. How was it funded? And other allegation regarding the relationship between Johnson and some Tory donors. But in spite of that political troubles, Johnson has been enjoying a political triumph. According to the polls, he has a comfortable lead of 11 points on his Labour opponents, and he may have significant and positive results at the local election scheduled for the 6th of May. And of course, so many in Italy are forgetting that, and they go on sneering at Johnson. This week's papers in Italy are full of reports and comments sneering at his trouble after Cummings' revelation. The second option, which will be the wise one, would be to come to terms with reality, to accept the reality of Brexit, to treat Britain as our best possible neighbors, how many good things we could do and plan together with the UK in terms of commerce, in terms of intelligence, in terms of defense. In this perspective, it was positive, the large vote by the European Parliament for the zero tariffs and zero quotas trade agreement between UK and EU. And what is even more important, we should treat what the UK has been doing as a model to reforge and reform the European Union itself and to design a renegotiation of the EU rules among the 27 remaining members. Here, from a view from Italy, we can suggest 3 points for this possible renegotiation. The first one is to push for a multi-speed and a multi-tiered union in which any state can participate in or abstain from programs that suit or don't suit them. Some Europhiles will shout, oh, but this is going to be a sort of Europe a la carte. Yes, sir. When you go to a restaurant, it's far better to be able to choose from a list rather than being imposed a sort of fixed menu. The second point is to introduce a sort of red card system allowing national parliament reject or modify some of the things coming from Brussels, as our German friends do through their constitutional court. The third and most important point is to reject the idea of a sort of fiscal harmonization all over the EU, and the introduction of a sort of euro area finance secretary with the mission of harmonizing the fiscal system of the 27 members. We need fiscal competition rather than fiscal homogeneity. Watch out, because after the recovery fund, someone in Brussels will say, okay guys, if it's up to Brussels to decide on how to spend money, it's up to Brussels also to decide on how to collect taxes. That's dangerous. There is a political leader, a German political leader, one of the leaders of the German SPD, and a finance secretary as well, Olaf Scholz, who has decided to bet on this perspective. Fiscal harmonization has become one of the key points of the electoral manifesto of the SPD for their elections scheduled in September. I personally wish this option would be rejected by the German elector. In that case, it will be easier for the Europeans as a whole to choose diversity and flexibility instead of homogeneity and uniformity from a fiscal point of view. That's all for this week. Have a nice Labor Day. See you next Friday, when there is going to be a larger version of A View from Italy, but I don't want to spoil the surprise. See you next Friday.